What's going on? This is Kyle with Explore the Adventure, and I believe this is Astral Projection Vlog 17. So here's a quick disclaimer. If you're not looking to absorb any negative information in your life right now, if you're not trying to hear about negative entities, if you're trying to learn astral projection and you're not really wanting to focus on that, then I suggest you skip this video, because I will be talking about negative entities and my experiences with them up to this date. And another thing, the purpose of these vlogs is to share my journey in learning astral projection. I'm not a master at it, but I'm simply a student who is trying to learn everything about what it is, what it's about, if it's completely real or not. And I'm just continually just putting myself in the astral projection state just to see what experiences I get out of it. So these are some of the experiences that I've been having. So I started astral projection, or experimenting with astral projection, about 2 years ago. And one of my worst fears at the time was encountering something that would induce a lot of fear in me, or create a lot of fear, or I would experience something very fearful. But now, at this stage, I would say that those experiences were actually necessary. So before you decide if you want to skip this video or not, I suggest that you just listen, because, well, if you want to get serious about learning astral projection, you're probably going to encounter something fearful at least once. It's kind of just statistically inevitable that you will encounter something fearful. But the thing is, the more that you expose yourself to something, the less fearful it becomes. So let's count the experiences that I've had since I've started. The very first experience I've ever had with a negative entity, and I don't even know if it's negative. Who knows if these things are actually negative or not? It could just be that I'm very unfamiliar with the energies that these things possess, and I'm causing my own fear when it comes to them. I'm still learning. But the very first time I experienced a sort of entity that evoked a lot of fear in me, it was extremely traumatizing, psychologically traumatizing, and I couldn't sleep normally for quite a while. It actually took me about at least half a year, if not an entire year, to fully be able to sleep normally without worrying about something crawling onto me. But since then, I've definitely had more experiences. That was my first. I actually spoke about it in a vlog earlier in this channel. The second experience I had, it wasn't as intense, but I remember becoming conscious between that stage of being conscious and unconscious, the in-between state. Sometimes I'll become aware that I'm in that in-between state. And when I become conscious in that state, I'm sure that if there was an entity waiting close to me as I'm becoming conscious, it would become aware that I am conscious of it. Going a little bit off tangent, sometimes I sleep with my eyes open. It's a little bit creepy, but one of my fears that I've had before was of seeing something really creepy while my eyes are open, while I'm sleeping, or while I reach that in-between state. And lo and behold, that's happened plenty of times. In fact, again, when I do become conscious in that in-between state, the thing that was waiting for me the second time that I've experienced a negative entity, it was sort of like a black mass floating above me, sort of like a black cloud, and started to like gather all of these shadows. All these shadows started to like congeal into it, like it was sucking up the shadows around the room, and then it formed into something physical that I can't exactly, my rational mind couldn't depict it. It couldn't interpret it as anything, so it just showed up as a weird mass of black shadow and whatever. And I just remember it charging at me, and as it charged at me, I immediately sat up in my bed, and I was just like, what the fuck? Like, it was scary. It was intimidating. It gave me a bit of a cold sweat, but I was able to fall asleep relatively fast after that. My third experience was, oh damn, I'm definitely gonna go out of order on this one. I believe I was entering the astral state, and as I was entering the state, as I was going through the vibrations, I heard this entity cry out. It did this creepy little cry, and I could feel it crawl onto me, and it kind of sunk into me, or like on top of me. That didn't stop me from completing the projection, though. I ended up projecting to somewhere nice after. I don't know how. Like, it's just so random. I ended up projecting somewhere else where the entity was no longer there. But in the process, as I was going through that in between, it tried to crawl onto me. My fourth experience, more recently, I think within the last month, I was sleeping, right? And then I became conscious that I was sleeping. Like, my body was unconscious, but my awareness was conscious. So as I was experiencing that consciousness, I felt and something sit on my back, and I could feel the physical pressure of it sinking like on my back, like it was like pushing on the side of my back closer to the edge of the bed. In my mind, I imagined that, like, if it were a person, their legs would be hanging off the bed while they were sitting on me, but who knows what this thing was shaped like or what it even looked like in the first place. But I felt the pressure of it. As it was there, I was definitely intimidated by it. It definitely scared me, but at the same time, I was still able to combat it, because at this point I experienced enough negative entities, and I've done enough research to realize that these things will only have control over you if you are afraid of them, or if you let yourself become afraid of them. So I don't remember what I did in the moment, but I do remember making jokes at it, like kind of turning it into a comedy, kind of like taking away the energy of fear that I was initially giving it. That way I could neutralize the fear. I remember actually physically waking up, but a part of me was still kind of connected to the whereabouts of that entity. I could still feel it swirling around the room, and I actually heard it whisper my name. And of course, it doesn't really feel good to be dealing with the unknown. It feels intimidating. It does feel fearful, but still, I was able to fully wake up. I was able to snap out of it, and from there on out, I put myself into a more positive state of mind. Number five actually happened before number four. Very similar. These things always surprise me. They always catch me off guard. It's usually when I'm off guard when they appear. I was sleeping. I reached that in-between state, and as I looked to my side, I saw this weird little snake-like thing. It was like brown. It was sort of thick. It was like almost worm-like, but it was giant, and it was hanging from the ceiling, and it was like kind of swirling around, like getting closer to me. It's very startling, but after I fully woke up, I went back to sleep. It actually wasn't, that one wasn't so bad. It was startling in the moment, but I was able to get over that one pretty fast. Number 6, one of the most recent ones that I had was, I was again sleeping. I reached that in-between state, and as I became conscious, I saw an old lady standing at the foot of my bed. And right when she realized that I was aware of her, she started coming towards me. She started moving closer into me, and then that jolted me awake, and then she was gone. The moment I became conscious, she was gone, fully conscious. A lot of the times when I'm experiencing these in-between states, I am in the real time zone. I am aware that I'm laying in my bed. I'm aware of my surroundings with my eyes closed. So all of these entities, all of these experiences, At first, about a week ago, I was actually genuinely concerned. I was genuinely concerned because I didn't want these things to continually come at me and continually attack me. And I thought that this was a reflection of my vibratory state, whether I'm being too negative in life or I'm not being positive enough. But now I'm actually thankful for these experiences, because the thing is, I realize, like, little by little, I'm becoming more and more desensitized to these things from what I've watched in other people's vlogs, from what I've read from other people's experiences. These things only have as much control over you as you allow them to have over you. So to be honest, I'm actually kind of excited for the next one to come at me, because in these states of being, it's in the astral realm. I know it's not a dream, but it's still an area where consciousness makes up everything. Or how do I describe this? Dream matter makes up everything, or like consciousness matter makes up everything. I don't know what the word is. It's like, the type of consciousness that makes up this whole world, the type of consciousness that governs the laws of the universe, the type of consciousness which makes a leaf fall down or makes a leaf grow, or the consciousness that gives the rules to DNA, which gives the rules to like how our bodies form and how like plants grow and stuff like that. Let's just say that the astral realm is pure consciousness. Like, just being aware of this, being aware that in the astral realm you can perhaps create like a glowing sword, or perhaps you could create a giant ball of light, like a pure love, or perhaps you could imagine an angel coming down and with a flaming sword of pure energy and just swiping away at these negative entities. I'm excited to play around with that. If this happens again, which it probably will, I'm going to play around with these thoughts. I'm going to play around with just getting creative and creating my own form of astral defense, so to speak. I'll keep you updated on when that happens. So there's this book called Reality Transurfing, and in this book the author talks about a place called the information field. Now, the information field is the place where things that have not yet been realized, or things that have not been yet converted into physical form, reside. I believe that the author could be talking about the astral realm, even though he never mentions the astral realm. This information field, or the astral realm, is where you enter when you're practicing astral projection. This is why when you think of things, they manifest almost immediately. Whereas in this physical realm, things that have yet to be realized, things that haven't come real yet, or haven't manifested into reality yet, it takes a longer time for it to show up. When you think of something in the astral realm, it shows up like that. When you think about things in the physical realm, when you want something or desire something, you may know it as the law of attraction. It takes a while for it to become materialized, or it takes a while for it to arrive to you, so to speak. This is an important thing to remember, because one thing that I continually forget is that in the astral realm, I am a creator. I am a being who can manifest whatever I desire in that moment. I can manifest any form of defense. I can manifest any form of purity and love. I can manifest any form of protection. The thing is that in the astral realm, when you encounter these sort of beings that seem unfamiliar, these negative beings, I don't think they're evil. It's just more of, as Einstein put it, as an absence of love. The thing that we continually forget is that in the astral realm, we are creators. We are more powerful than we could possibly imagine. We are beings that can manifest. And in the astral realm, simply by desiring something, you can manifest anything that you want. And when you encounter these negative entities and you feel just fear or apprehension, you forget how powerful you are, especially when you're practicing with astral projection for the first time and you don't know of what you can do. Yeah, negative entities or ghosts or these spirits can seem very intimidating. Now, I'm fairly new at this, as I already said. I'm still learning how to manifest inside of the astral realm. I'm still learning how to move through the astral realm. I'm still learning about what this state of consciousness is about in the first place, why I'm able to have access to it, and what I can do with it. And that's the purpose of these vlogs, again, is to share with you all of these experiences that I'm going through as I learn about this strange sort of state of consciousness. So that's pretty much everything that I wanted to say for now on that topic. Before I close this video out, maybe if you've been following this channel for a while, you'll notice that I've been including more self-help topic type videos. I do plan on including more videos like that, so stay tuned. I'm going to keep on uploading. I'm going to see what people like, what I can provide, and I'll keep on playing around with the type of content that I upload, but I still will include topics on spirituality, and that's pretty much it. If you enjoyed everything that I talked about today, feel free to subscribe for more content. Feel free to like this video, and if you want me to talk about anything else, just comment below, and I will see you next time. This is Kyle with Explore the Adventure. Peace. Oh, and by the way, if you're still watching, there is one thing that I've been curious about. So with astral projection, there are the vibrations that you access, and you can access these vibrations through opening up your third eye while you're in that state between consciousness and unconsciousness. These vibrations are very, very strong. They're very intense, and they're almost unlike anything that I've ever experienced. Now, my question is, these vibrations, the third eye is also known as the pineal gland. It's a part of the brain that produces DMT. What I'm wondering is, this astral projection state, this altered state of consciousness, does it come from this sort of does it come from your pineal gland? Does it come from the DMT released from your pineal gland? Is that what I'm doing when I'm astral projecting? Or is it something else entirely? I'm not entirely sure. If you know the answer to this question, please comment below. I haven't really done my research on that, but I will, and that'll probably be one of my future video topics. So anyways, I'll leave you be.